Hey guys, it's Vincent here, and I'm here at Korin, and I wanted to talk to you guys about how to choose the right chef knife for you. So when you come into the store, we have a team of staff that's very knowledgeable that'll help you choose the right knife. But I thought I'd go over a couple of questions that we normally ask to narrow it down for our guests, and I hope that helps you figure out what's the best chef knife for you. So the first thing that we tend to ask is, are you left or right-handed? A lot of Japanese knives are sharpened asymmetrically, so then generally they're geared for right-handed users right out of the box. And we would either convert it to a left-handed knife if you need a left-handed, if you're a left-handed user, or we would offer something like a Damascus knife, which is sharpened symmetrically, in which case it doesn't matter if you're left or right-handed. And this is the first question we ask so that we can start narrowing it down. Now the second thing is to determine what size of knife is right for you. Now, there's a wide range of chef's knives in terms of size. They can start at around 7 inches, and we have up to 10.5. In some cases, we have up to 11.7, almost 12 inches. And what people like really comes down to personal preference, but there's a couple of things that I would always ask. First of all, are you a professional chef? If you're using this knife professionally, I personally like to recommend a larger knife, something I would say 9.4 or higher. Larger knives are generally more versatile. So this is an 8.2, but just to give you an example, with a larger knife, you'll have more clearance. So if you're cutting like a big head of cabbage, you get more leverage to really come down on it. Or if you're slicing any kind of protein, that added length will create a cleaner cut. So generally, again, a larger knife is a little bit more versatile. But let's say you're a home cook or you work in a very small space kitchen. I know in New York City we have a lot of very tight kitchens. You might want a smaller knife, maybe 8.2 like the one I have here, or maybe something even smaller like a 7-inch. You know, if you have a large knife in a small workspace, you can end up hitting the tip of your knife on the back wall, or just a little bit harder to work around. You want a smaller, more nimble knife. So there's a couple factors, but again, personal preference and your work environment would definitely determine what size is right for you. And then another thing, or lastly I should say, that I would ask you is, are you confident in sharpening? Generally, if you're very good with sharpening and you work professionally, I would like to recommend a harder steel. Now a harder steel knife is gonna basically hold its edge longer. But the trade-off is that it's a little bit more time-consuming to sharpen, and you need to have the right tools, you need to have the right stones in order to create the best edge possible. But if you don't use your knife very frequently, let's say you're a home cook, right? You can go with something that's a little bit softer. Softer steels are gonna be easier to sharpen. So if you don't use your knife as frequently, or if you're not very good at sharpening, you're not very confident in sharpening, I would recommend a softer steel. This is just gonna be a lot easier to restore the edge once the knife dulls. If you're not confident in sharpening, a softer steel might be better for you. But if you're sending your knives out to be sharpened professionally and you don't sharpen your knives at all, you might want the harder steels again. That way you can go a lot longer in between sharpening, so you don't have to worry about sending it out as frequently. So I hope these questions that you can ask yourself will help you find the right chef knife that's a best fit for you. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.